Man United suffered a shocking defeat to Everton in the Premier League and Ruben Amorim was accused of being stubborn. Ruben Amorim has rejected the idea that he is fixated with his tactics at Manchester United, while confirming that he is willing to tweak the team's approach to win games. Amorim has steadfastly stood by his 3-4-3 formation since his appointment from Sporting Lisbon, saying that not even the Pope could persuade him to change United's tactical system. The formation has been contentious, but Amorim was named Premier League Manager of the Month in October after overseeing wins against Sunderland, Liverpool and Brighton, which silenced speculation about his future. United have started November with 2 draws and a defeat to Everton, who claimed 3 points at Old Trafford, despite playing for 77 minutes with just 10 men due to a sending off. Amorim was accused of being stubborn against Everton, but he has insisted he is adaptable. DAZN Portugal has launched a new Q&A segment on YouTube, where fans have the opportunity to ask questions to the biggest Portuguese figures in world football, and Amorim was the first guest. Amorim was asked whether he would return to his mobile attacking style he implemented at Sporting, where there was no fixed striker and the front line would constantly rotate. Although Victor Gyökeres was the first-choice striker during Amorim's time at Sporting, the shape was built around rotations, with Gyökeres asked to drift wide, link play and drop deep. The 40-year-old said United have already played with a fluid attack this season and interestingly said that he was willing to try new tactics, despite critics thinking he is fixated. Amorim said, "We did it against Liverpool. It wasn't with Bryan Mbeumo, it was with Cunha. And it's an option that we have, and nowadays, everyone, I think not only in the English league but in the Portuguese league, in all leagues, there's a great variation in how things are structured. We might say it's a 4-4-2, but 5 minutes later it's a 4-3-3 or a 3-4-3. And therefore I'm willing to do anything, contrary to what many people think that I'm too fixated on one thing. I simply start with a basic foundation, but obviously, we can use it in the future. And we've already thought about that with Brian, playing central, because he's very strong in transitions. I do think it's the best position for him, out wide, because he likes to be hidden, he doesn't like people watching him. He can attack, be more dangerous on one of the flanks, either the right or the left, rather than as a striker, but it's a good option, therefore I'll be able to use it in the future as I did several times at Sporting." Amorim has regularly insisted his system is not a problem. Speaking earlier this year, he said, "The problem of our team is not the system. We have a lot of problems, we are trying to work on these problems. Of course, every system needs different characteristics. But I was always really clear. I have one idea. I am still really confident because I have an idea how to play football. I will not change that, no matter what. And I'm not talking about the system, it's the way I see football. I will not change that." United are currently 10th in the Premier League table, just 3 points adrift of 4th position. The Red Devils' recent resurgence ground to a halt on Monday night as they were defeated 1-0 by Everton on home turf, despite the visitors playing for over 75 minutes with 10 men. Premier League icon Matt Letizier told Football Insider last month that Amorim could still be under pressure at United if he doesn't sustain their recent upturn in form. The Portuguese had seemingly navigated his way through the many calls for him to lose his job earlier in the campaign, but after Monday's defeat, he has managed to reach a new low in his time at the helm. Manchester United's recent revival under Amorim hasn't been without its problems so far, and many of them were clear to see yet again on Monday night. The 40-year-old insisted after his team's 2-2 draw at Tottenham prior to the international break that he felt his team still had a lot to do in order to improve, and he also bemoaned the fact that the game was there for the taking for them on that occasion. Despite the Toffees' stellar defensive efforts, the same could easily be said for their latest defeat, as United racked up 25 shots against their depleted visitors, but spurned all 3 of their big chances during the game. The ex-Sporting CP boss has now lost more Premier League games as United chief than Mourinho did, but from a staggering 54 fewer games, according to the Athletic journalist Duncan Alexander, via his X account. It serves as yet another horrific badge against Amorim's name, and the board must surely still have his long-term position under scrutiny, regardless of the recent positive signs. The Red Devils are currently sitting 10th in the Premier League at the 12-game mark of the season, but they must surely target being inside the top 4 by the turn of the year. Champions League qualification must be the realistic goal for Amorim and company, and they have the perfect opportunity to put themselves in a great position to achieve that in the coming weeks. United are just 3 points behind 4th place at the moment, with games against the likes of Wolves, West Ham and Newcastle all on the horizon before the end of the year. If they are not able to dramatically climb the table in their upcoming run of games, then Amorim may easily find himself hunting for a new job in the opening weeks of 2026. That is according to ex-Aberdeen and Everton and Aston Villa chief executive Keith Wyness, who, speaking exclusively to Football Insider, thinks the referees should have handled the situation differently.